Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And in this video we'll be doing the trade targets for round 10, sort of skipping over the rookies as we do have a lot of rookies here, as we do cover them in the Cash Cows video that you would have seen out an hour ago at 12 if you were catching them up at the time that they were released, which you could do if you remember to turn notification bells on as well as you subscribe and subscribe and like the video. So a plug there, I guess. But anyway, yeah, Richards, you would have seen me talk about him in the Cash Cows video. A little bit worried about his job security, but that you would have watched that video anyway, and if you haven't, go watch that. Revel as well, similar, but I think he's got slightly better job security. Fraser, I'm interested to see if he was playing as a sort of key or more of a sort of distributing player, as he is 191. And sort of was playing that sort of halfback role, it looks. Sullivan as well, a little bit of job security issues. So yeah, those are sort of all the rookies that we talk about. Then we go on to the guys traded in. Clayton Oliver, I think he's back. I think the last couple of weeks has shown that he has had a couple of free kicks given away. But I think he's just ramping up, and you can almost see it in the way he's playing at the moment, that he is sort of ramping it up. Plays the Eagles. We saw how Nick Daicos did against the Eagles. So I would be looking at Clayton Oliver, 725k. The only problem is he a definite keeper? That's the only question that we have. And do you really want to be doing Clayton Oliver when you can get a definite keeper guy, maybe even a Petrarca at this point? As they sort of a Petrarca, or maybe if you somehow don't have Gawn, getting Gawn or someone like that against the Eagles, or potentially getting the North Melbourne matchup. Let's just check here with the outs. I'm pretty sure Sheasels or against Essendon, maybe filling that hole with a Nick Martin or something like that and attacking that, where you know that those guys are going to be top six in their position. I know that and I just wanted to comment on Petrarca. He's not going to get to forward status. I think that Jaden did a really good piece basically showing that Petrarca needed 87% forward status in the next 3 games, and I believe he only played about 60%, and it looked like he played a lot of forward status. So I think that just shows to you that he isn't going to clock in as a forward, and he's going to fall short basically just because of a couple of games where he played predominantly as a midfielder. But yeah, so that's the only qualm I have with the Oliver one, is he going to be top of the line enough? Yes, he presents so much value if he goes at 100. He's 180k undervalue if he does that. But does he actually go 100, or does he just go or does he go 110, which you really need for top of the line? And 110 would be huge value, about 260k or so. But does he do that? Does he just stick out at that sort of 95, 100 range? Or does he go 110, 120 like we've seen in the past? Like he did last year to open up the season. I believe his first 7 were 120. Can he replicate that? And that's the only one that I think people need to look at when they're doing when they're looking at Clayton Oliver. Nick Daicos, I completely understand this trade in. And even though he's playing Adelaide, I would almost want people to do Nick Daicos before Clayton Oliver, even though I've got both at this point. I just think that Nick Daicos is, he's coming back, and he's top 6 defender already, and he's played a iffy season. So yeah, I think that Nick Daicos has the ability to go 120 from here on out, to be honest with you. And that 120 would get him up towards that 115 range or 114 range. So yeah, I just have confidence in Nick Daicos to go large. Sam Walsh, 5 games and 119 average. He's been quite crazy, and he went off on the weekend, I believe, 143, and really showed that he's developing, I guess, as he's getting those tackles in and under, which is really good to see. He plays Sydney this week. I would be against this just because Carlton don't have Sard or Williams, I think, is a test from memory. Let me just go to the likes of the Carlton Blues. Here we go. Here, I just want to see their... do they have an injury report up or not? Doesn't look like they have an injury report up. So I will just double check on their website to see if they have an injury report up. But I don't believe they do. In Carlton Football Club, here we go. Then we go to that, and then we go to here, club contact? Nope. Club. Do you have injury list or any way, shape or form? Let's just see here. Contact, nope. I just want, latest. It doesn't look like they've got an injury list up at the moment, which kind of does suck a little bit. But I'm just a little bit worried that Zach Williams doesn't play, Adam Saad doesn't play, and then James Jordan just goes, yep, I know how to stop Noah Anderson, so I know how to stop Sam Walsh. And that'll be the attempt that they make. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that as well. And that would mean, and I know Sam Walsh has been attempted to be tagged, but ain't got to a 102 and a 101 and a 106 sort of here. So I just don't know whether there is as much value knowing that there is a tag coming up for Walsh compared to a Nick Dacos or compared to an undervalued Tom Green or a Dane Zorko, who have really favourable matchups. So yeah, Tom Green, I can understand people trading him in after the 115. Has a 133 break even. That isn't as large as I believe he has, like a 160 in Supercoach, so I don't think it's as bad. And yeah, he's basically now going to be, and we look at it now, he's averaging 97 for the year. And I know that he's going to get it back, but if you take out the 7 that he scored, so 866 divided by 8 is like 866 divided by 6, times by 6 divided by 8 there, 108 that he averages normally. I think you can basically put that, he can go 110 for the rest of the year, but the good thing about that 7 is that's going to be, because he didn't miss a game in the end, but that's going to be 23 divided, so it's going to be about 100 divided by 22 or so, 22 games or so, I think, which is roughly 5-point unders for next year as well. So yeah, I really do value Tom Green in the next, as a valuable asset in the next couple years, to be honest. Dane Zorko, I value this trade in as well, even though he's got the round 12. He's got Richmond and then Hawks leading into the bye, so this could be a crazy purchase. He's at 980k. I think he could go over 1 million in the next couple of weeks, as he's just got 2 favourable matchups. And if you look at the match stats here, you'll see his 62 starting to fade out. Yes, he does have the 184 that starts to fade out of the recognition board in terms of the break-even splits. But I think that another 120 here, and he starts to just rocket up in price. So yeah, look at that. I think that he is definitely one to look at. But then again, he's getting close to his buy. Do you just purchase him after the buy or something, and just go two failing primos that haven't sat their buy to 2 primos off their buy in round 12. After round 12 and round 13, etc. Nick Martin doing his job. I understand people trading him in as he is needed, I guess, as a top 6 defender. He's sort of top 3 at the moment, I would say. Butters as well, he's doing his job. He's going to be top sort of 12 as well. Colby McKercher, people trading him in, be worried because I don't know if North have released their injury statement yet, but let's just check that as well. I don't know why it switched to Greek letters. I must have clicked my keyboard. Fixtures, nothing. Rising Star, nothing here. It doesn't look like we have any injury report yet, so that might be something to watch for Colby McKercher. Zach Fisher here as well. I think this is an alright trade in as well if Colby McKercher goes down. That's one thing that I'm considering is just going Roberts to Fisher. Play even Fisher in the defensive line or maybe in the forward line, depending on how it goes. And just basically use him as that sort of F5 or so that he'd probably be, as he seems to get that role in McKercher. Probably, if he's out, then Sheasel probably doesn't need to be traded. Luke Ryan, I understand this one as well. That's one that I've jumped on as well. Just need him with this St Kilda game, to be honest with you. So he's one that you could look at. I may even go Roberts and a rookie up to Ryan if I can do it. I don't know if I'll have enough cash to be able to do it, as I think I might just fall short. I think I just fall short because I don't want to pick in a 200k defender. So I might just fall short of Ryan if I wanted to get Roberts and someone else out. Unless it was and I don't want to get rid of Closey or any other mid. So yeah, it kind of just falls short. Bonner, he's doing his job. Caleb Sarong, another guy that you probably got to trade in as well. Isaac Heaney, understand these guys as well. Just be worried about their buy. It's like these round 12 guys in Heaney and Dunkley. Bontempelli, he's back on form as well. Petrarca, I understand that. Maybe it's a little bit reactive given he did kick 5 goals, but I did say that he's probably a better pick than the likes of a Clayton Oliver, just because he, it does look like he does sort of only score well when he's kicking goals, but I just genuinely think that he can provide, and I do think that they'll have to put him on in the midfield the next couple of weeks, and I think against West Coast he could kick 5 anyway in the sort of in the forward line. And I think Finlay Macrae, I think that's a little bit points chasing, to be honest, or overvalue. Roberts, understand that his break-even is stuffed and he may even be a potential omission. We're waiting on obviously the team lists that come out Thursday. I think it will be just a straight swap of Parker for Wicks now. Just looking at the pressure ratings that Wicks is putting up, I think that Parker will go in there and be that sort of marking forward. And you'll have Paps and also Hayward to do the sort of small forwards work, even though Hayward's 6'1". Harvey Thomas, his cash gen is coming to an end. He's now got a break even of 73, and you can say goodbye to him as he is already dropping. Will Graham, he probably is back in the next couple of weeks, I would think. He put up a good effort in the twos. I think 22 disposals, 6 clearances, 6 tackles from memory. So I think he could be back, but I don't think he will be back this week. Ollie Dempsey as well, up in the wet, sort of dewy conditions in Darwin. I wouldn't go for him. Then you got Sheasel as well, just waiting on the Colby McCutcheon news. As if Colby's all clear, then I will be sticking to the trades that I currently have, as I believe Sheasel won't go back down there. And that'll be the perfect sort of trades for me. Harley Reid, understand this as well. His break-even is starting to catch up to him, 63, and I don't think he's really had... I think he's sort of hitting that rookie wall at the moment, so I would be sort of tempted to get rid of him. Aaron Cadman, another one, hitting the rookie wall, absolutely. Minus 19k, got a 68 break-even. He's dropping quickly, and he did have a 20 last quarter to get up to 25. Williams, I understand this as well. Nat Fife, understand this as well. Nat Fife has a huge, biggest break-even of 89. Huge break-even in Supercoach as well, for those wondering. Elliot Yeo, for those people that didn't trade him out last week, I would potentially actually hold. He is projected to actually be back or a test for this week. So if he does actually get back, then you've just held him for a week and gotten through the damage. So yeah, I would look at holding him. To be honest, now looking at the West Coast injury list, I'm pretty sure he's a test to play. I need to just double check that though. Let me just double check that now. West Coast Eagles. Let me get off that. Here we go. Do we have an injury list? Thank you, please. Do we have an injury list? Or does theirs come out? Later? Tim Kelly. Nope. No, thank you. Do we have an injury list? 5 things we learned. No, thank you. Nope, doesn't look like we have an injury list for the West Coast Eagles yet. Similar thing with, I guess, Campbell. Treston Cherry's probably done his job now. 101, I thought this would come sooner, this sort of 57 game. He had a couple of 80s games and a huge couple of 120 games. So, yeah, he was definitely one of the picks, but I think you needed to jump off him when he was sort of last week somehow. If you had managed to pick that out of a 120, that he would drop a stinker the week after. But yeah, has Essendon this week with a 122 break-even. He could honestly match that, but I just think that you may want to trade out of him potentially and switch him to maybe a Zorko or something. I know that ruck line is a little bit weird, given that some people would have had Brodie Grundy gone. I think some people had Cherry at R3. That was probably the play of the year, even though it looked off, is having Cherry R3. But yeah, so I think time to jump off Cherry, to be honest, and then we're getting basically down to the guys that aren't really relevant. But anyway, that is the video there, going through the trade targets for round 10. And last video that we've done in sort of these awkward lighting and trying to record it early enough to get the lighting good enough, but late enough to get the injury reports, which we went through, I think, in both videos well enough. So anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys on Thursday for the tips and then the team reveals for round 10. But bye, guys.